Hi, this is Myra with Boutique Paint. We're continuing on with our Christmas decor videos, and today we're using a new product, which is DIY's paint frosting, which is a thickening agent that you put into paint and it turns it into the consistency of frosting. So I'm going to use this little dollar store container. And I'm going to put in some paint, and I've already mixed some up because it's best to let this thicken up in like 12 hours. I went ahead and did mine last night. That being said, I also mixed some last night and let it sit for an hour and did a project just to see if that would work also. So these are little dollar store containers that you get in the, where the tin foil and the saran wrap and stuff is in the dollar store. And they're probably about 2 ounces. And I just poured a little bit into the lid, and that's about half the lid. And I'm going to start with that. And one of the reasons why they want you to wait the 12 hours is because it thickens up more. So you might be mixing and saying it's not doing what it's saying it's supposed to do, but it will. So already I can feel that it's thicker than the paint. Might put in just a smidge more. And pouring it into the lid's a good way to do it, because then you won't accidentally pour in too much. So I probably did about 3/4 of a lid worth. And just get that nice and mixed up. And I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to set it aside. This is the one I mixed up last night. A little wet, but it'll get there. I didn't try the blow dryer on it because, we're experimenting. Just want to kind of get a feel for it first. I painted this like this will. So I'm going to take, this is a cake knife, a frosting knife. And that's basically what we're going to do. And I'm going to just take a little bit of the frosting. I'm just going to get it down here. And I'm just going to get a little bit on the end and then move it up. I'm getting way too much on that. Get this stick out of the way. You could use a popsicle stick if you do not have one of these. I have to say I use this for everything. Well, not everything, but I use it for a lot of different things in my crafting. I use it for the mica powders to get it out of the containers, the maker's powders. The DIY dust, I use it to get out of the containers. It's just really a handy tool. Just scrape off the edge here. And when you're done, you could, and this is dry, you could go, well, you wouldn't even have to necessarily wait for it to dry. You could probably do the edge carefully if you want the edges to have it on it too. But what I'm doing here is just taking a little bit of the paint frosting and pushing it down onto the wood and keep creating a peak at the end of the frosting knife, and then just kind of continuing on building layers. And I think on this one, because I didn't let it thicken up quite as much, it did kind of flatten out a smidge more as it was drying, where I don't think this is going to happen with this one, because the peaks are already quite a bit taller than this other one was last night. All right. Now that we got that done, we're just going to let it dry. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and come over here with my sample board and show you how to do the snow on it. You could just leave it like that if you don't want snow on your tree. You know, you don't have to do this next step. I did swan white last night also, and mixed it in the with the paint frosting. Same thing. I'm just going to take a little bit, and I'm just going to hit the peaks like I did here. It's not going to take much. Might be a little much on that little guy. But there's not really a, you know, it's going to be kind of hard to screw it up, even if you get a little bit too much on. If you do it on a fence board, what you can do is just take a block of wood like this and put it behind and glue that, and then take another board and put it in the center, and you could stain these or you could paint them. Either way, I would probably drill a hole up through the center of this wood into this, and then put a set screw in there just to hold it a little bit better. The reason why you drill a hole first is so you don't split the wood. This would be fun to do with kids. A little project with the kids with their days off that are coming up. And here I'm just gonna kind of tap it on the spots. So on the fence board tree that I did, I added a little bit of the paint frosting mix to the sides of the tree just to give it a little extra, and I kind of bled it over. And then I glued it with both wood glue and hot glue. The hot glue just to kind of hold it in place while the wood glue dries. And then I also put a little stabilizer board on the back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit, hopefully you can see it this way. I'm going to take a little bit more of the paint frosting. And I did just kind of whitewash this board a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit of this. Onto the front of the tree, or in front of the tree. Just to give it a little extra something. Scoot some underneath that tree. And you could go all the way around. And like I said, for the sides, I just kind of took the knife and kind of went. Actually, I did it from this side, and then that way some of it would be left behind on the edges. And then you're done. If you have any questions about any of these products, you can go to our website at boutiquepaint.com. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.